Welcome to Rebel Chaser. My name is Gail, and I've got 4 videos for you tonight. The first one is with Judge Washington Hill. The second one is Judge Boyd. The third one is Judge Buckley in Washington. And then the last one is Judge Meyer, also in Washington. And that one's a traffic one, and I think it's funny, so I'll let you guys watch.
We're hearing cause number DF 2502889, Espinosa and Sanchez. Will the parties in the Espinosa matter please unmute yourselves, turn your cameras on, and raise your right hands. Do each of you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Mr. Espinosa?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Sanchez?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may both lower your hands, and Ms. Peoples, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. We're here on an order establishing the parent-child relationship and in suits affecting the parent-child relationship. Judge, we have an agreement as to all issues except for current child support and the retroactive child support judgment. If I can read the terms of the agreement and then take testimony on the contested issues, Judge.
You may.
Judge, there are 2 children before the court, Rosabel Sanchez and Isabella Sanchez. Judge, there is an acknowledgement of paternity, which I'd offer as State's Exhibit A for the child Rosabel Sanchez, which was attached to the pleading on file.
State's Exhibit A is admitted.
And I'm sorry, Judge, I misspoke. It's for the child Isabella Sanchez has the acknowledgement of paternity.
Okay, State's Exhibit A is still admitted, Ms. Peoples. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. And parties are in agreement to establish the parent-child relationship between Mr. Espinosa and the child Rosabella Sanchez. Parties are in agreement that they would be appointed as joint managing conservators of both of the children, with the mother having the exclusive right to determine the residence in Dallas or any contiguous counties. Parties agreed to a standard possession and access schedule. Judge, currently they do have a pickup and drop off at the Barnes and Noble that's located near SMU, and they want to continue to do that. Judge, the proposed order sets child support at minimum wage for 2 children before the court and no other children. Parties agree the mother would apply for and maintain government medical. Cash medical support, Judge, at minimum wage will be $113 a month, beginning September 1st, 2025. The proposed child support amount at 25% would be $262 a month, beginning September 1st, 2025. The order contains a retroactive child support judgment from July 3rd, 2024 until today, August 14th, 2025, in the amount of $6,970, which is to be paid back at $80 a month beginning September 1st, 2025. Court costs would be as billed to Mr. Espinosa. And Judge, the mother is requesting a non-disclosure of her address and contact information, and that is the extent of the order.
Is the non-disclosure agreed to?
I can take testimony on that, Judge. I believe so, but I'm not for sure. I didn't negotiate it, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
If I can call Ms. Sanchez.
You may.
Ma'am, can you state your full name?
Amber Astrid Sanchez.
And did you hear all the terms of the order that were just stated to the court?
I did.
And did you understand all those terms of the order?
I did.
With the exception of the current child support amount and the retroactive child support judgment amount, you're in agreement with all the other terms and believe they're in the best interest of your children?
I do.
Okay. And you understand the proposed order sets child support for Mr. Espinosa based on minimum wage. You understand that?
I understand, but I don't agree.
Okay. Do you believe that he's currently employed?
Yes.
Do you have personal knowledge as to him having a job currently?
When he hung up the phone with his children the last time they spoke, he quote said, "I have this job I need to do." So that's what I'm basing it off of.
Do you know what type of work he does?
No, but he has done third party jobs before where he's like self employed. So I have a hunch that that's probably what he's doing.
What do you mean by third party jobs? What kind of work is
Like
that?
like Uber Eats, Door Dashing, Instacarting.
To your knowledge, how long ago was it that he did that type of work?
He was doing that during our relationship and after
Okay. When did y'all's relationship end?
July 3rd. Well, it ended prior to that, but he left the unit on July 3rd,
Of what year?
2024. I'm sorry.
And so during that time period, he was working during DoorDash and Uber
Well,
Eats.
prior to that, he had a job with Home Depot, but when we split and he moved, uh, he either lost that job or quit, and then he got employed with a window installation unit facility. And from my understanding, he was let go of that job.
Okay. And so the child support at 262 would be based on minimum wage, and you don't agree to 262 in child support, correct?
Correct.
Okay. How much are you asking that the court order him to pay for child support?
I was thinking at the minimum 300 because he's got to be making money by these side gigs somehow.
Okay. And as far as the retroactive child support judgment, you're requesting the back child support from July 3rd, 2024 until today. Is that correct?
Yes, reflecting his income he was getting paid at his previous job.
Okay. And so during that time period, has he provided or did he provide any type of support for the children?
The only thing he's done was buy them school supplies last year, which I have the receipt, and the school supplies this year, which he didn't provide a receipt for.
So are you in agreement with the judgment amount for that time period of $6,970?
The only thing I want to bring up was he did receive a insurance settlement, so I didn't know if that was factored into his income from last year.
Okay. So are you
So for the retroactive, I wanted to ask if they could calculate his settlement that he received as part of income for the retroactive.
you understand that the only income we considered was the income from his jobs during
Job,
that time period for the
yes,
6,000.
that's what I understood.
And so are you in agreement with that?
No,
And just so the court's aware, was the settlement something that the both of you received?
individually.
Okay. And are you aware of how much money he received for the settlement?
Yes,
And how much did he receive?
18 grand.
And what did you receive for the settlement?
I received 20 grand, but they were separate. He got his case filed under his name. I got my case under mine. That's the reason why I'm asking if it was factored into his income.
And so you don't agree with the retro amount because his income did not include the settlement amount.
Correct.
And you're asking that the court not include your address and contact information in the court order today?
Correct.
Has there been family violence in the past 2 years between you and Mr. Espinosa?
Sort of, yes.
When was the last instance of family violence?
I could not give you a date, but there were police calls, so I'm sure we could figure that out.
Was it within the last 2 years?
Yes, it had to have been somewhere around 2023.
So what happened? Have there been instances of violence between the two of you?
It's more so aggression. He's verbally aggressive, and he has hit me prior to those 2 years, so I'm not sure what you would just classify as it.
So in the past 2 years, has there been any physical violence between the two of you?
No,
In the past 2 years, there's been verbal statements between the two of you,
verbal altercations, very heated, yes.
and you've called the police on him during
Yes.
those 2 years because
Yes.
of the verbal altercations?
Yes.
Was he ever arrested?
No.
Do you have safety concerns still with him knowing where you live?
Yes.
Does he currently know where you live?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And that's as far as the court order, you are requesting that y'all do pick up and drop offs at the SMU Barnes and Noble.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness.
Make
And call
copies.
me.
Next witness.
I'll call Mr. Espinosa. Sir, can you state your full name?
Yes, Christopher Espinosa.
And Mr. Espinosa, did you hear all the terms of the order that were just stated to the court?
Yes,
And did you understand all of those terms?
yes,
With the exception of the child support amount and the retroactive child support judgment, do you agree to all the other terms and believe they're in the best interest of your children?
yes.
Okay. Are you currently employed?
No,
When was the last time you worked?
that was the day I got fired, May 9th, 2025.
And so you haven't had any type of jobs since May 9th of 2025?
No, ma'am. I stated to my daughter I need to get a job. Those fries look so good.
And are you or have you worked doing Uber Eats or DoorDash during that time period or since then?
No, ma'am. My driver's license is expired from Florida, and I'm still trying to switch it to the Dallas one with my birth certificate. So I am not approved for any third-party apps.
Okay. And currently you aren't receiving any unemployment benefits?
Well, they're in the works. It was a ID situation, but I already submitted it. I'm just waiting for the response.
So you're in agreement with the terms of the proposed order that set your child support based on minimum wage, correct?
Correct.
And that was the cash medical would be $113 a month beginning September 1st, 2025. You agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
And your child support would be $262 a month beginning September 1st, 2025.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand mom is requesting retroactive or back child support from when y'all separated, which would be July 3rd, 2024 until today. You understand that?
I understand.
And you disagree with the court taking a retroactive child support judgment today.
As of July, I stated to Ms. Goodman that as of January was when I was able to reach contact with my kids again because I was blocked off entirely. I wasn't hearing from them, and I had to any school supplies or any gifts for holidays. I had to drop off at their grandmother's house and contacting her through her and just dropping it off and driving away. I wasn't able to see my kids until FaceTime on December 25th.
So from the July date in 2024 until now, had you given any financial support for the children to Ms. Sanchez?
Just I was only able to get the school supplies and the just for a couple for food, but that was about it because I was the only one employed. I had to pay off my house and the car.
So why are you asking the court not to order any back child support today?
That's what I was stating to Ms. Goodman is that I don't mind the back child support as of the day that I was able to speak to my kids again because I was completely cut off from my kids from July to December.
So you only want the back child support to start when you were able to talk to them and see them.
Yes.
And what date was that? Did you started to see them December of 2024?
December 24th, 2024, yes.
So you're requesting the retro judgment from December 2024 until today.
Correct.
Do you currently know where Ms. Sanchez lives?
I do not.
Are you in agreement with her request for a non-disclosure?
That's perfectly fine with me.
Has there been family violence between y'all in the past 2 years?
Yes.
When was the most recent instance?
The day that I left.
What was it anything? Was it a physical altercation that occurred between the two of you all?
Yeah, she punched me in the jaw.
Were the police called?
I don't believe so. I was kicked off that day, so I had to figure myself out from that point on.
I'll pass the witness, judge.
Then I will accept the agreed portions of this order, make the agreed portions the order of the court. I will order child support at $262 per month. I will order a retroactive child support judgment of $6,970 against Mr. Espinosa in favor of the Attorney General of Texas. I will order that judgment paid at $80 per month. Is there anything else, Ms. Oh, and the non-disclosure will be granted since it's agreed. Is there anything else, Ms. People?
Nothing further from the state judge.
Any questions from the parties?
No.
All right, then thank you both for appearing here today, and you're both free to go.
Court is calling 2024 CR 009527, State versus Donisha Walton. Could I have parties announced?
Hunter Morris for the state.
Michael Belleville for Miss Walton.
And are you Miss Walton? You need to unmute.
Yes.
All right, Miss Walton, you have a right to appear in person.
It's unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes. Are you able to hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right, Miss Walton, you have a right to appear in person in court, but I am in receipt of a consent to plea by video conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and electronically sign it?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to plea by video conference. State, do you have any objection to the plea taking place by conference?
None, Judge.
Right. Did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yeah.
All right, so you're gonna have to speak up. Nobody can hear you.
I think it's just what I'm on, but yes, yes. You can hear me?
Yes. Did you review the true bill of indictment? You're saying yes?
Yes, I did.
All right, did you review that with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with intentionally or knowingly committing bodily injury against an elderly or disabled person at a state facility?
Yes.
That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Did you understand that the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes.
Counsel, your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes,
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I believe she does.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes,
Ms. Walton, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yeah.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be no contact with the complainant, the anger management course, and you're prohibited from practicing as a nurse in the state of Texas. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, it is.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, there are not.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years and there be 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State, any evidence?
The state tender states wanted attachments, Judge.
No objections.
Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
My client is in Chicago. She understands, she should not have this individual. She does accept responsibility for it. She would just like to move on and be able to work and complete her probation without any problems.
All right, so how much training does she have in the field? Is she a licensed nurse or is she a person that somebody hires and says, hey, we need somebody to come in as a caregiver?
She will have to answer that one.
All right, are you a licensed nurse?
No, I'm working towards getting my CNA.
All right, so this is a situation where somebody just hired you to come in and work in a facility.
I'm a caregiver.
All right, so what's your level of education to be a caregiver?
I finished high school. Completed high school.
All right. See, this is what I mean. Everybody's just letting everybody be a caregiver. And the problem is that being a caregiver for somebody, I think that's sort of like a calling. You have to have said, you know what, I'm going into that field because you're dealing with people who have dementia, Alzheimer's, people who can't take care of themselves, people who need somebody to bathe them. The patient gets upset because they're not doing what they're allowed to do anymore. They can't communicate because they have dementia and Alzheimer's. Then everybody and their mothers just hiring random people, paying them minimum wage or less than. And then we end up here with somebody slapping somebody who has dementias and Alzheimer's. So I know y'all say she's prohibited from practicing as a nurse in the state of Texas. Okay, but she's not a nurse. She's not licensed to be a nurse. This is just somebody that somebody just hired off the street and said, hey, you have a high school diploma. You want to receive minimum wage to take care of people that nobody else maybe wants to take care of. And this is where we end up. And what was the name of this facility? Let me see. Chapters Living of San Antonio. All right. This is what the court is going to do. Does anybody want to speak to length of Probation, the state is asking for 3 years. All right, court is going to sentence you to 5 years deferred adjudication. There's a $1,500 fine. There is to be proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider, no employment with working with minors, no employment with working with people who are disabled. There's to be no practicing as a nurse in Texas or anywhere else. So I'm just going to say no practicing as a nurse. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs. 120 hours of community service restitution. The $1,500 fine will be probated. There's to be anger management. I'm ordering anger management because you all agreed to it, but it just appears that you were a person who should never have been working with someone in any type of facility or young children or people who have mental health issues. That's just not a field for you. Probation, is there anything else? Yes, what county are you in? I'm sorry, where?
Cook.
All right, she's allowed to transfer to Cook County in Illinois. Is it Illinois?
Yeah.
And Judge, if I may,
Yes.
Is this court inclined to include a no contact for Miss Maria La Rochelle?
Yes, and there's to be no contact with Maria La Rochelle, and there's to be no residing with the elderly. And for the court, I'm putting elderly at anyone over the age of 60. Probation, anything else? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Good luck to you. Don't take any more of these positions that requires you to have patience and that requires you to be with someone who has dementia, Alzheimer's, they're elderly, they need somebody to be kind and patient with them. You shouldn't work in those positions. Do you understand?
Yes.
And I do fault the company that hired you as well. All right. I'm going to send you to the breakout room. Probation will go in the breakout room with you and go over conditions. And I will place you in breakout room number 2.
Jordan Goran.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
So how do you know Jamie Conley if she's a stranger?
She's a stranger to me. She's not a stranger to my ex. That is his ex. I personally have never had any contact with her until she started to harass me, and I needed 2 paperworks. So I needed to ask you a question about that, Your Honor. I tried to incorporate Lillian Vaughn, who is Joseph Vaughn's sister. Joseph Vaughn and I have a no contact order. One night, Lillian Vaughn and Jamie Conley showed up at my house. My daughter was asleep, and before I could get down to the front door while they were banging, they came around the back, opened my sliding glass door, screamed at me, were threatening me. I had my 5-year-old daughter in my house. They've showed up at my job. They're calling my phone at all hours of the night repeatedly.
Okay, yeah, so hold on. Right now, we're gonna deal with Goran, or pardon me, with Conley. So
Okay.
we're gonna talk about Vaughn in a moment, or a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so what has Ms. Conley done? She showed up with the Vaughns, it looks like.
She showed up with Lillian Vaughn. They stated that they believed that Joseph Vaughn was breaking the no contact and was in the house, that they had already called the police. So when I went to call the police, before I could even call the police, after dealing with them, they had gotten my sliding glass door, the police were already there. The police, I told them, please come in and search the house, that Joseph Vaughn was nowhere in the residence, nowhere near the residence, but they were intoxicated, they were volatile, and they were very violent. My finger got literally my whole fingernails off because it got slammed in the sliding glass door as they tried to come in. I had to get cameras around my house. My 5-year-old lives with me, and I just can't be harassed anymore at my job, at my house. This isn't the first time. There's been I have a police report with Jordan Washington. He was the officer on duty that came that night, and I'm sick of it. I don't want anything to do with them. I don't have anything to do with her brother anymore. And we're grown adults. She has 2 children of her own. That's his sister. But Jamie Connolly is also a huge part of the harassment, calling. She's the one showing up at my work. She has done numerous things, and she was also trying to enter my house. But I only had the one paper, so I tried to incorporate both of them into that paper.
And did you know that Ms. Conley was here yesterday and obtained a protection order against you?
No, Your Honor. I had reached out in a message and let them both know. I left town. I went to my mom's house that night, and I left town the next day. And that's who got that paperwork for me, was my mother. That's why there was only one. So I filled it out with both of them because I felt unsafe. And I reached out to them and did let them know that I would be retaining a no contact and anti-harassment against both of them, because what they have done is cross the line, especially with my child in my residence.
Okay, I'm just letting you know.
They came to you guys?
Yeah.
I have a police report where they came at my residence. I have never went to their residence. I've never done anything.
Yeah, okay. I'll let you know. I'll ask you questions. I wasn't the judge. Another judge heard it. I have no idea what that judge was told, but that judge entered a temporary protection order saying you can't have any contact with Ms. Conley. And based on what you've told me, I'm going to enter a protection order for you saying Ms. Conley can't have any contact with you. And there will be their hearing is already scheduled for the 25th, and your hearing will be scheduled for the same day. So the court will hear both versions of it, your version and Ms. Conley's version, and we'll go from there.
Alrighty. Yeah, I have video proof. I have all those phone calls. Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
I don't know what the judge yesterday heard, so I can't comment on that at all. I don't know what Ms. Conley said.
Are you able to place one for Lillian Vaughn as well?
No, you'll have to file that separately.
Okay.
So if they're not children of Ms. Conley, then you have to file it separately, and it doesn't sound like they're children of Ms. Conley.
No, but I have a no contact with her brother, and he's facing 3 felony in their assaults against me, and his mother is posting stuff on social media. Do I just make a bunch of these these things, because I'm being harassed by pretty much his whole family at this point?
Okay, I'll tell you, you can make a decision who you want to file against, but I'll tell you that we don't enter orders against people for saying mean things about somebody else.
It's not mean things. It's things on Facebook.
Hold on. So if somebody's posting online things that aren't true or that are mean, we can't do anything about it because of the First Amendment. If they are directly threatening you, that's something we can do about it. If they're saying, I'm going to get this person, that's something we can do about it. So having that information, you can decide who you wish to file against.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes. And where does Ms. Conley live in relation to where you live?
I've never been to her residence. I had gotten it from a third party, but she lives on Pine Street in Lacey. I know that. Or Pine Lane or something like that.
But that's not close to where you live.
I don't know. I've never been there. I know she lives in Lacey, and I live in Lacey.
Okay.
Close enough for her to drive under the influence to harass me.
not get stopped, huh?
It needs to stop. Yeah.
All right, so I'm ordering her to stay 1,000 feet away from you and your residence.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And there will be a hearing, as I said, on the 25th at 9 o'clock in the morning in courtroom 1. And I suspect you will be served by somebody, maybe the Lacey Police Department. And is that who you want to have Ms. Conley served by?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So you both will be told to be in courtroom 1 on the 25th of August, and gives you the Zoom information for that you have already since you're here today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and the civil office will be sending you the service packet, which is what needs to go to Lacey Police Department to have Ms. Conley served. And then
Okay.
service ultimately is your responsibility, so I suggest you stay in good contact with the Lacey Police Department to make sure she does get served.
Okay.
And they'll appreciate it if you make it easy on them by saying you're aware that she has filed an order against you, which they probably have, waiting to serve you. So if you can tell them you're aware of that, and they'll say, well, can you pick it up at this time? And if you do that, then I suspect they will greatly appreciate that.
Do I just call the Lacey Police Department and ask them to serve her?
Yeah, once you have the service packet, you're gonna get the packet to them, and you'll get that packet from the court here in a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
Ms.
Your Honor. You have a great day.
You too.
Okay, so back on the record, this is a case of Richard and Jean Elway and Abigail Nutu. Case number 39038. And this case was initiated by the Elways against Ms. Nutu. Ms. Nutu filed a counterclaim, and this is the factual scenario I spoke about in my opening speech, where there was an accident. Both of you are pointing fingers at the other party, and it's gonna be up to me to figure out who's at fault here. And so before we do that, Ms. Elway, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You can put your hand down. And then go ahead. I'll hear from you first, and then I'll hear from Ms. Nutu.
Okay. On that day, I was driving and I was on the main road, and all of a sudden, I was on the main road, and when Miss Nutu suddenly collided with my vehicle on the right, and she made an illegal pass to my right side, and the speed that the car was going was really fast, Your Honor, and she never stopped until she went to Galenta, and she made a right. She swerved over to the right lane and stopped. And she never got out of the vehicle. I followed, and I was waiting, and she never got out. Yeah.
So you hit her, and as far as I can tell, you hit her in her left driver's side rear. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor. She hit me.
Oh.
She hit my vehicle. I was on the main road, and all of a sudden she was passing, and I in front, and she was already going ahead. And because I didn't want to hit her further, I swerved towards the left and stopped my vehicle in the middle of the road. And she continued moving forward.
Hang on just a minute, ma'am.
Yes.
So were you both traveling on, and again, a main road, I'm talking Crosby Boulevard. You were on Crosby Boulevard?
Yes, sir.
And give me just a second.
I gotta wait till you swear in.
Okay, so were you? There's a narrative report filed in the from the looks like a police.
Yes, sir.
And then there's also a diagram.
Yes.
And then I'm going to read to you what's in this report, and I want you to tell me if this is accurate or not.
Okay.
It says, I then talked with Jean Elway, the driver of Vehicle 1. She told me the following. According to Jean, she was stopped on Viewpoint Court preparing to turn left onto Crosby Boulevard. Jean said she looked both directions for traffic. She said she saw none, moved out into Crosby Boulevard. During her turn, Jean said V2 came out of nowhere. Her vehicle struck V2 on the rear driver's side. Jean's vehicle sustained reportable damage to the front passenger side corner, and she did not have any injuries to report in her vehicle. And so then I'm going to show you another thing here that's also in that report that I printed this off. If you look here, it may be hard. This is a disadvantage of, but that's what was submitted by the officer. And that's kind of similar to what was described in that paragraph. The car coming out of, can you see that first of all? I'm going to pull that up there.
Yes, Your Honor, I see
So the
that.
come out is identified as your automobile. V2 is the automobile driven by Ms. Nutu.
Yes.
So is this diagram wrong? And did the police officer, when he wrote all that down, is he wrong or what exactly? Because I heard I'm trying. It's hard for me to figure out exactly what you're telling me.
Okay, that was from the first police report, Your Honor, and I made 2 more attempts in going to the police station to correct that report because that is Mr. Nutu's version to the cop. That is not what I said to the cop. I was not turning left. I was already on the main road. I was on Crosby when Miss Nutu suddenly hit my vehicle. I was not turning left.
What kind of car were you driving, ma'am?
Subaru, sir. That police report has been amended 2 more times.
Is that the amended police report been filed?
Yes, sir. Did you?
Yeah, it's in the.
It's in the file, zip file, Your Honor.
So what exhibit? What number? There's the exhibit. There's all kinds of exhibits here, and there's
Exhibit D.
Is it numbered?
It's Exhibit D. Police
Thank
report supplemental.
And sir, you're not sworn in, and so I'm not going to hear from you. If you want to testify, I'll let you testify, but you need to sworn in first. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Exhibit. I don't see that in Exhibit D. Exhibit D is looks to me like an insurance company thing.
No, it's
Page 1.
1, 2, and 3.
D1. Hang on just a minute. Oh, there we go. Says I amended the diagram. Okay, so hang on just a second. So the pictures image. So it looks to me, okay, hang on just a minute. I'm going to hear from Ms. Nutu. Ms. Nutu, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You can put your hand down. Were you driving a Toyota?
Yes, I was.
Okay, I'll get back to that in a minute. So, ma'am, the picture presented, there's a couple of pictures here. which I assume is yours. There's a picture of a Toyota, which is, I assume, is Ms. Nutu's. And did you send these pictures, Ms. Nutu?
Yes, we did.
And then did you take these pictures right there with your phone?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So, ma'am, I'm going to come back to you. And it looks to me like the damage to your car is on the front passenger side. And the damage to Ms. Nutu's car is on the rear driver's side, which would be consistent with this diagram. That's what that shows. And I don't see how, if she was in, how did, I'm not following what you're telling me. You're saying she hit you?
Are you referring to me?
Yes, I am.
Ms. Jean Elway?
Yes, Jean Elway.
Yes.
Because it looks to me like the only way that
she hit me,
she
sir.
hit you?
Yes. I was on the main road and all of a sudden there's a slam to my right. And then she just tried to pass me and then she went straight and she was at high speed. She never stopped. She never honked her horn, nothing. She never braked. She never.
Okay, so Mr. So, I don't understand how the back of her car could collide with the front of your car. That's what I don't get.
She swerved right to my side, up to the right embankment, and went straight.
Okay.
So she hit me on the right. She tried to cut. And she tried to cut, and then she never stopped. She went straight.
So I'm gonna hear from Ms. Nutu. Ms. Nutu, could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You can put your hand down. I'll hear what, according to you, what happened out there.
So I was driving down Crosby Boulevard, and as I'm approaching, I see her car. She's on the side street. It is Viewpoint Court, and I see her car, and as I'm approaching, I see her starting to come out and make a left-hand turn, and I didn't think too much of it. I was like, oh, she shouldn't have been pulling out yet, but obviously I assumed she stopped, and I continue, and as I am crossing the street, I noticed that she's still accelerating towards me, and out of caution, I swerve into the bike lane a little bit, and I speed up to try and avoid that. I didn't think that she would actually hit me. I just thought it would be another one of those close calls that happens, but she did end up hitting me, and I immediately pulled over as soon as I could. And I was obviously shaken up. I had never been in an accident. I'm young. I don't really know what to do in these situations. So the first thing I did is I called my father, of course, and he said he'd be coming and that an officer was on the way. And then I get out of my vehicle and I take pictures of everything. And Miss Elway also exits her vehicle when I come outside as well. And she tells me she's late for an appointment and she wants my insurance, and she's saying she's late and asking if she can leave. I say, no, you cannot. We have an officer on the way to get this all taken care of. That's the only time I spoke to her, and I went back in my car and I didn't get out until the officer and my parents had arrived there as well.
Ms. Elway?
Yes, sir.
And again, so tell me again what happened there from your point of view.
Okay, so I was on the main road, and then all of a sudden I heard this bang on my car, and she was moving, and then I swerved a little bit to the left because I didn't want to hit her further, and then she just went, I heard the car, and then she just went straight. She just went straight, and then she parked towards Galenta, past Galenta Street or Avenue or whatever that street is. And then she didn't come out of her car. And then she just said that my father, and then she didn't stop. She didn't make, it was just a big, like that. I just heard boom. And she just went going straight. I did not make a turn, Your Honor. I was already on the main road. I was on Crosby. And then when her father came, all of a sudden he was telling he said that, oh, you were turning left. I said, no, I was not. I was on the main road. And that's when he called the cop. He said, I'm calling the cop. And all this story on the first report was not what happened. That's why I had to go to the cop 2 times, because I said, I'm not being heard here. This is Mr. Nutu's version. And in fact, when in the police report, before the police left, the officer, he said, this is no fault. And then all of a sudden I received the police report, which is Mr. Nutu's version. I was not turning left. I was already on Crosby Road when she hit me.
So it's your position. I mean, again, okay. Give me just a minute there, ma'am. Give me just a minute here. So again, going back to this diagram here on Viewpoint Court, where that car is, do you live on that street, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And is this about where this happened? Just outside of Viewpoint Court?
I was already on the main street.
I heard that, ma'am.
Yes,
I heard that.
Yes.
Okay.
So I have already made the safe turn from Viewpoint Court.
I see. So you did turn off Viewpoint Court?
Yes. And I have already made the safe turn. I was on Crosby, and all of a sudden I was hit. We have to consider, Your Honor, that that's a descending road. It's a curved road, and you have to.
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with it. I'm familiar with it.
Limited visibility now.
So I have questions for you both, and that is, you're both making claim against each other. The reason I ask this is without saying, who I'm deciding for, if insurance covered this and insurance paid for it, and you have to pay for it, you're maybe subject to a deductible. I can't enter a judgment, like the insurance will pay for it, and then I can't enter a judgment in the amount of what the insurance paid for, because that should go to the insurance company. And so I guess I'll start with you there, ma'am. It's Ms. Well, here's what's going to happen. And so, ma'am, I heard what you're saying about, you had already made the turn and we're on, but given where you were turning off of Viewpoint Court onto Crosby Boulevard, when you turn onto the lane, and that when you turn onto the road in that particular position, you have to yield the right of way to the person on Crosby Road. And if this was about where this happened, and it doesn't make sense that if they slammed into you from behind, that would be one thing, but your front clipped their behind. And so maybe, you misjudged. It said in the police report, you didn't see them coming. Perhaps, I'm not sure what exactly happened, other than maybe you misjudged her speed, or if you didn't see, and if she was already on the road, and then it seemed to me not be possible for her to hit you with on her left rear bumper to your front right bumper. That just doesn't make any sense. Perhaps you didn't see, you misjudged how fast she was going, but I am going to find that the preponderance of the evidence is that Ms. Nutu is not at fault in this case, and if there is any fault, that lies with you, in that you misjudged the turn, misjudged her speed, or what have you. And so Ms. Nutu, and again, and I assume who's there with your father, you know, what's the status of all this? Did insurance cover this? And was there a deductible, and what exactly?
Yes, Your Honor. Can I talk? Is that okay?
Yeah, raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
That is, yes.
You can put your hand down. What's the insurance situation?
Insurance situation is the plaintiffs in this case, Your Honor, were uninsured. They were cited for not having insurance at the time of the accident. Luckily, I have uninsured motorists, so we went through our insurance company to fix our car. So we did that, and we got our car fixed. And lo and behold, after, I don't know, 3-4 a month, we get a sheriff coming to the door issuing us a summons.
No, I just want to know what your deductible is. What did you have to pay?
The deductible was $1,000, but it ended up being only $100 for uninsured motorists under my policy.
I see.
It only cost us $100 out of our pocket to get our car fixed.
Did you have to pay a filing fee for the counterclaim?
I did, Your Honor. It was like
how much was that?
$75. What the standard procedure was, and then I paid the sheriff too. I left.
How much was that? $60 for the service fee?
Yes, Your Honor. Now, is there anything that we're able to do about the diminished value for my vehicle? The damages that I'm seeking on.
You know, I can't. Before you stop there, I'm just gonna stop you and say, you know, I can't give you advice in that regard. And so, you know, you can talk to a lawyer if you want about all of that, but I can't, you know, you don't want me telling them how to conduct their case. I'm pretty confident they don't want me to tell you how to conduct yours too. So I just, you know, you're here, you both pointed the finger with regard to the accident. The only thing I'm deciding today is, you know, and she's asking for emotional distress, which I can't, I don't think that's appropriate. Okay. I'm finding that just for the purposes of this hearing, I'm finding that your daughter's not at fault. The fault lies with Ms. Elway. I'm going to reward you with principal and the deductible, and I'll give you your costs and fees. Okay. And but that's really what I can, you know, if you want to pursue other action, that's
I don't need anything
maybe consult
else,
a lawyer.
That'll be fine with us today.
All right.
Sir, could I say something?
Yeah, could you raise your right hand, please?
Yeah.
Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just would like to say that, you know, my wife, English is her second language, and I believe her communication with the police of what happened was limited. And then I feel that this uninsured issue, that was my oversight, and I deeply regret that. I got insurance the next day. No.
But see, hang on, but I'm going to stop you on the insurance thing because I want to say that had no bearing on my deciding of the case. That's why I announced what I was going to do before I asked about insurance. So insurance only affected the amount of the judgment.
Yeah, yes, John.
So go ahead.
But it may have influenced the police officer because he was definitely not listening to my wife. I was there when they were talking. And before he left, he asked her point blank, were you going down the straightaway in Crosby Boulevard? And she said, yes. And then he never put that into the report. And the other issue is the damage. I mean, there's a swipe. It swipes on the bumper towards the left. And were you able to watch my video, Exhibit A?
No, give me a second. I did, but I can review it now.
Yeah, because I feel that this is a little more complicated than it appears, because when you come around that bend on Crosby Boulevard, you're almost completely blind until you're, you know, looking at, or you're within like 100 feet of it. So it's very possible that the version that my wife presents is true and real, meaning that she was already descending and that Miss Nutu did not see her make that turn. And I still wonder why she didn't brake or why she didn't honk or, you know, anything. So I actually timed it out very carefully, you know, from listening to what my wife said, and there's about a 6-second delay, and that would fit with both versions. Like both people could be telling the truth. So
well, the other thing is, one thing I will say about, you know, I did consider, then the video's loading. I didn't, you know, and I just kind of decide the case based on what's presented to me, and you know, the pictures and all of that. But you know, videos after the fact generally, frankly, aren't that helpful. But you know, I will say this: what I did hear from Ms. Nutu is she did try to avoid it. She saw the turn. She tried to speed up, and she almost made it. I mean, if you look at where you hit, if she'd have just been like 2 feet further ahead, we wouldn't even be here. And right. So, I mean, that's just what I heard her say, and I did consider that in making my decision. But the insurance is just a non-issue. The judgment's going to be principal amount of $100. Filing fee is $50. A service fee is $60. So in terms of damage, I'm not given the amount of, and I do know that body shops are, given my work experience here and what I see, and for lack of a better term, are fender benders, which this is, frankly, a fender bender. I know that, you know, body shops are very expensive, but the insurance company paid for that. I'm not giving a windfall to the Nutus for all of that. They're just getting their deductible as well as their filing fee. So the total judgment amount is $210.
Sir, just their insurance company, we thought this was a no-fault accident. That's what we were told by the police officer. We were actually shocked to see that report. And their insurance company is coming after us now for $7,000. And you know, this is why we're here today.
Okay. I'm going to tell you, I'll tell you something else. I mean, this hearing, this isn't, I mean, I don't know what to tell you other than the insurance company can do with what they think's appropriate. And apparently insurance, all I know is what I'm deciding here today, how much weight the insurance company gives that. And apparently the insurance company decided to do that well before anything happened. And also, for the record, I didn't know anything about that till right now, until you just told me. But I'm just deciding the case based on what's presented to me.
Well, can I ask a question?
Yes.
My understanding of Washington state law, if someone's in an intersection, what my wife said she was, like she was already out going, descending, doesn't she have the right of way with someone coming? I mean, and then if there's not
the person turning onto, again, based on what I've seen in terms of the testimony, when you're turning onto or coming onto, you have to yield to oncoming traffic.
Your Honor.
And that's what I'm finding. And maybe she didn't come out, and she maybe misjudged the oncoming car. And you know, you're at the speed of the oncoming car, but it's there again. That's what I'm finding.
On the video, you can see you can only see 200 yards there. So it's very, like, she could have passed, and again, not seen a car coming. There's a very limited visibility from viewpoint.
I was already on Crosby, okay. Your Honor. I wasn't turning left. I was already on Crosby.
Okay.
And I'm a very safe driver.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, ma'am. Yeah, and I'm not. My decision doesn't mean you're not a safe driver, but you know, sometimes things happen. They do, and you know, and I'm asked to decide the case based on what's presented to me, and based on what's presented today. To me, this is my decision, and that's. You can appeal this if you wish. Of course, every decision can be appealed, but that's my decision here in this case.
I just feel like, Your Honor, that I have not been heard since the beginning. I had to go to the police station 3 times in order to correct that police report. I have not been heard since the beginning of this, because this is all Mr. Nutu's version to the police, and that's the thing that the police put in his report. I was on the main road. I was on Crosby when Miss Nutu hit me. I wasn't turning left. That was Mr. Nutu's version when he was accusing me.
Yes, Your Honor. And I asked Mrs. Nutu why she tried to go around her, and she said she thought she was turning left. And to me, that was evidence that she was on Crosby and not turning,
yes.
because it wasn't that she didn't say at the time that she ran into her. She said she thought she was turning left. And if you see on the video, there's nowhere to turn left there. So I think she's changed her.
I think she was turning left. She was turning left off of Viewpoint. Then she tried to go around
she
her.
thought she was turning left off of Crosby. She
I
said,
was already on Crosby, and then she said, I thought you were turning left. Meaning she thought that I was turning left towards the park or towards the residence driveway on that side, but I was already, there were no two lanes. There was just one main lane and another on the
so sorry,
was a left turn.
So hang on just a second. I'll allow Ms. Nutu to respond, and again, we'll go. Ms. Nutu, you heard what she said. Do you have a response to that?
Yeah, I do. I did not speak to Mr. Elway or Mrs. Elway. I never said those words. I actually have no clue what they're talking about. She was turning left off of Viewpoint and coming onto Crosby. It's as simple as that. Their story keeps slightly changing. They're saying things that I said. I didn't speak to them. As I said, I was very scared, so I waited for my dad and the police to arrive because I didn't know how to go about things, and I didn't speak to them about what I thought she was doing or anything. It was simply that she was coming out left and she tried to merge into the lane that I was in and hit my back corner.
Your Honor, I did talk to her and she did say she thought she was turning left.
So again, I've reviewed the pictures, which are telling to me is where the person hit, and my decision, I've heard your comments, and ma'am, I did hear you. I did listen to your testimony, and this is just the decision that I'm making. And as I said before, when you get two different versions of the same set of facts, they have to come one way or the other. And usually, and I understand you're not happy with my decision. I get that. I get that you disagree with it, but that's my decision here today. And again, the principal amount on the defendant's counterclaim is $100, $50 filing fee, $60 service fee. Total judgment amount is $210. And then that'll conclude the hearing here for today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You both are free to go.
Okay, so just real quick, the first one, I just thought it was, well, I thought it was really odd that she would call the police because of words being said. No, nothing else, just words. And I guess she can't handle bad words. She needs to grow up. Now, the second one with Judge Boyd, that one, that's the kind of person that works in care homes and stuff like that. So, if you have an elderly mama or dad, you have to be really careful if you're thinking about doing that. And I know they can be hard to handle, and sometimes that's important. You need a place for them to go. But you have to really check out the place. From going in there at odd hours, seeing how the patients are dressed, if they're clean, all that kind of stuff. So I would just be very, very careful if you ever have to deal with that kind of situation. And then the one with Judge Meyer, be careful out there in Washington because she has a driver's license. And she doesn't know. She thinks that she has the right of way. If she pulls out onto a road, she thinks she has the right of way. She does not. The person that's pulling out onto a road has to make sure it's clear before they pull out. So if you get hit in that kind of situation, it's always going to be your fault. Always. And they keep saying, oh, well, she was already in the lane. She was already there. Well, how could she be already in the lane and hit this other person at the rear quarter panel of her vehicle? She couldn't have been in the lane. And was she not looking at the car that was in front of her? Did she not know how to put on her brakes? I don't understand that. But she has a driver's license, so I would be careful if you're driving in Washington. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you another time.